The adaptive classroom idea started with a chair. The chair on the left is what my daughter was given to support with her proprioception, a sense of where she is in the learning environment. She hated it. It made her feel different. She stood out. She felt shame. The chair on the right does the same job, but without the stigma, as every child has one. We believe that if we meet the needs of our most vulnerable, then we meet the needs of everyone. With our individual personal experiences of classroom issues and deep knowledge of relational education, trauma-informed design and practice, and adaptive furniture, we can support you to make the change. Why have we chosen to pilot our idea on the Isle of Man? We know that the Isle of Man nurtures, welcomes, and supports innovative ideas. We know that its biosphere values align with ours. And we also know from the data and from speaking to children and educators on the Isle of Man that the education system is facing all of the same challenges relating to special educational needs and exclusions as faced in the UK. We believe that the Isle of Man is big enough to experience the same challenges, yet small and connected enough to really make a difference and to measure the impact. The Innovation Challenge presented us with so many opportunities. Over the last few months, we've spoken to schools and students across the Isle of Man. Each one is doing something to improve, whether that's trauma training, behaviour policies, sensory tweaks, or classroom redesigns. The problem is these approaches are scattered. One school might focus on trauma training, another redesigning its layout, another looking to shift their policies. There's no single approach that supports the child, the teacher, and the space together. And every adult we've met, from heads to support staff, care. They care deeply, but they're tired, and they often don't have the tools or time to apply change in a way that's sustainable or evidence-led. As one teacher told us, it does feel quite lonely sometimes because you're trying to fight the fight and keep doing what you believe in. And if you're not getting that time or the space or the training to do it, it's hard to keep going. The education system is full of people who care deeply, who are doing the best they can with the tools they have available to them, but the system lacks integration. Design sits in one corner, teaching theory in another, practice over here. But children don't learn in compartments. They learn through how a space feels, the relationships they have, and the emotional climate around them. And teachers need the right conditions to bring that learning to life. So we asked, what if there was one approach that brought all of this together? The adaptive classroom is a new model that combines restorative and trauma-informed practice training, design strategies grounded in neuroscience and sensory awareness, a practical toolkit and support plan tailored to each school. It's designed to empower school staff to deliver real, lasting change. We see this as a bridge between research design and day-to-day school life. Our team brings lived experience, academic insight, and practical application together. The aim to create environments that support emotional safety, regulation, and meaningful learning, not just for children, but for all staff who work there. Scotland Jubilee has been selected as our pilot school. Together, we'll agree our performance indicators, gather benchmarking data, and get to work. This is a research project, but it's also deeply personal for all of us. We're not coming in with all the answers. We're co-creating with the people who know their school best to figure out what's needed and how to make it last. We've visited the school and started planning how to change the classroom design. In September 2025, we'll collect the before data. October half term, we'll install the classroom. And in January to June, we'll deliver our adaptive classroom training programme. We're delighted to have already been approached by Sulby Primary, who are also going to receive the training. So what will the classroom look like? It'll be rooted in the 6 principles of trauma-informed design, making it the first of its kind. Trauma-informed design is a fresh way of seeing the built environment as a space for healing, where the buildings themselves are tools for transformation. Zones will be clearly marked: calm, focus, breakout, collaboration, expression, movement, and suggestion. Choice opens the door to autonomy and empowerment, helping every child feel in control and valued. Children can choose how and where they work, whether that's in a permanent home seat, on a soft seating, at group tables, or at independent desks. There's also a suggestion zone, empowering students to shape the space around their needs. Collaboration is at the heart of design, with a central circular table that encourages equal participation, drawing inspiration from Indigenous practices, where circles are used to build trust and connection. Cultural consideration means creating spaces that honour diversity and lived experiences. Notice boards will be co-created with students to celebrate identity and culture, ensuring that every child feels seen, respected and represented through inclusive student-led design. Once the classroom is in action, the training is being delivered, we'll present our pilot data and invite other schools to help us shape the next phase of our adaptive classroom. By the end of this pilot, we aim to deliver improved classroom regulation and retention for Isle of Man children, a scalable, evidence-backed model, resources to train other schools, and a long-term strategy for behaviour, engagement and well-being. And we need your help. We're not just building a classroom, we're building a movement, one that rethinks how we design education spaces to feel good for both children and school staff. So far, we've had no funding, just our own time, belief, and a generous donation from our furniture supplier. But we still need support to cover delivery, painting, carpets, acoustics, the finishing touches that will make this real. We also need people to help us install it. If you care about education and believe it can be better, we'd love you to be part of this journey. Because when we change classrooms, we change lives.